and welcome to SmallCap Spotlight. I'm Cheryl D'Souza, and today with me I have a very niche company who is into medical device manufacturing. We are joined by Mr. Mahesh Makhija, who is the MD and Chairman at QMS Medical Allied Services. Thank you so much for joining us on SmallCap Spotlight. And it's very interesting, the fact that you are into medical device equipment. So I wanted to understand first and foremost about QMS. How did it come into being?
Okay. First, we are into part manufacturing right now. Okay. I mean, maybe third-party manufacturing, not on our own, actually 100%. QMS got incorporated in 1994, actually. When I was working with an Indian pharma company. I guess to give you a brief background, I started my career with a multinational medical equipment and consumable company, moved towards, the Indian pharma company. So what I learned in these two companies was, the ideas which they were there for the promotion that they were using and what the products which we could have used for medical tech products. I could start a new business actually on that actually. So that was the main concept behind that. And, it was based on the, international pharma ethical code of conduct, like products which are used by the doctors on the patients are supposed to be good promotional products. So based on these two ideas, the incorporation of Queen's Marketing started actually in 1994. So we started as basically dealers with 3M. Actually, that was the first company that we took up the dealership. Slowly, we grew. Even the pharma healthcare space, actually, those days, even then, a lot of brand promotion activities used to, but nobody used to give a medical product as a brand activity, actually, technically speaking. So we are the first people who actually started this concept, actually. And till a long time, very few people actually understood what we are doing. Even now, very few people understand what we are doing, to tell you honestly. So based on this, we went on, developing a lot of inroads in the industry. We first were doing with 3M, then came with Hine, then with Kimberly-Clark, BPL, Tylenol, you name it, the medical companies, everybody wanted to work with us because we used to give them the outreach which no other industry can give that. It used to give them the direct approach to the doctors, to the pharma, actually. So that's how the network started, actually. Till 2017, we were only doing this. Our larger objective, obviously, was to be, the only people in the industry who, whether the pharma marketing requires in the form of science or, for the products or services, we should be the only people to give them. That's how, based on that concept, the QMS was built right now.
Right. So now, like you mentioned, you all started as a product vertical, right? Yes. Now you all are moving into services. How has that transition been and what led to that transition now?
See, yeah, that's exactly what I told. So there was a scope, for the, what else does the pharma team does actually, whether in the form of lectures, whether in the form of patient programs or what does. So we wanted to be that the people to provide them all those things. We had the network actually already. So we developed this type of verticals also. And based on the guidelines, which the government was also kept putting it on the industry. So it was a natural fix actually for us to move into this segment actually. Because that's how it worked out actually.
So talking about your business now, if you could help us understand from where do you get major chunk of your revenue and what contributes maximum to it? And also if you could help us understand the breakup of your verticals.
See, breakup of the verticals is, we closed it almost around 156 crores last year actually. Out of that, the product division was almost 110 odd crores.
Okay.
And the balance was from the services. I think 46 crores were from the services. That includes the turnover from Saarathi, which we have gone ahead and acquired actually right now, around 51% in that. So from that, that's how it worked out.
Right. Talking about your acquisition, I wanted to talk about Saarathi Healthcare that you've acquired. If you could help us understand what's the rationale behind that acquisition and also how is it helping? How are the synergies actually combining?
See, with, since we were a medical diagnostic company, medical technology company, we started a vertical for the camps. Now, what do we do in camps? Basically, we, we do conduct camps in the doctor's clinic. Early detections of a lot of other diseases are there. So we help manage these diseases actually. So like tests like ABPM, tests like BMD, tests like diabetic retinopathy, which normally a patient would have to go outside to do that. Here we are doing it in the doctor's clinic only.
Okay.
We have almost more than 120 people across different countries, 5,000 pin codes which we cover. And we have, we've invested a lot of money among the equipments actually also. And all these equipments are all CDSO approved, USFDA approved equipments actually. And these tests actually helps the doctor to diagnose the patient in the early stages of a lot of diseases. Now with Saarathi, what happens is like, what do you do after diagnosis? Generally, there is a 60% loss in the industry actually, in the prescription loss, in the sense what you call it, like after the first month, you don't find the patient coming back to the treatment actually. There's a trend which is there. So these patient service programs basically help in maintaining the patient on these programs, adhering to adhering a proper discipline on maintaining their lifestyle, taking proper medication. So all these programs basically, Saarathi was a pioneer in this from 16 years back. And if you look at this, like Saarathi, the main division, the main companies which Saarathi was focusing on all the multinationals, because all the patient service programs were actually done by the multinationals. Okay. Globally, if you see right now, the PSP, the patient adhering patient support program, is a $70.4 billion industry globally.
Wow.
It's that big globally. In India, technically speaking, it's an open landscape at this moment. You don't have you can't put in a tag actually. Technically, a farmer spends anything around 3 to 5% on their A&P actually. So it's within that space. But patient service programs comes into a lot of, a lot of money is put in from a lot of other resources also from that. So with Saarathi, what happened, it helped us to complete this loop actually. So completing in the loop is like, we do our camps, we diagnose the patients. If there is a company which is opting for a patient service program, with Saarathhi's experience and all, we could make those programs, execute them, and help them retain the patient. That's complete service.
So, which means that this gives you a huge scope for scalability as well. Absolutely. In an area which is untapped opportunity.
Absolutely untapped arena. People have been hearing and doing about patient service programs here and there, but never has it been being done so aggressively right now because of the certain guidelines that have been coming into the account, changes done in the UCMP guidelines also. As I told you before, these patient service programs are primarily done by the multinationals, hardly being done by the Indian companies before. Even if it had been done, it would have been done, just to tick the boxes actually, yes, these are the work they are doing, that's it, but never so aggressively. We've been doing one of the largest programs actually is Amrai, which is handled by us right now. We are being a QMS team actually, and we're catering to more than 1 lakh patients right now.
Right. So it's a huge arena that you've actually tapped, an untapped arena for you, which means that it actually opens a huge landscape for your company. Yes. I wanted to understand actually about your approach to product distribution. Recently, I believe you have Kapil Dev as your brand ambassador.
We've been using Kapil sir basically, for a lot of stuff, in the sense actually we've used him in our programs, Amrai programs also, we used him in the brand promotions also. Q Device is a product which we launched on our own actually, so that's where you use Kapil sir actually. See, post-COVID, during COVID also, and what happened is a lot of imports were happening from China.
Right.
So we tied up with the, IIT Betic. We got certain products developed by them. They also helped us in quality of these products, and we went ahead and marketing those products under our own brand names. So obviously we required a good, decent brand ambassador for it. So we had Kapil sir also for that actually. And then we used him in a lot of products. We used him in our service campaigns. We used him in the product campaigns, multiple things actually. For a year time, we had used him even in Amrai also. He was our brand ambassador for Amrai also for a period of 1 year for that time. And the product distribution, see, basically, we are more focusing on a core strength, which is the B2B platform. B2B platform is where we know what we can do, that's our strength area. So we've been selling our products more on the B2B channel. Again, it reaches to the doctors. Now with Dr. Diti coming into the picture and Tane being there along as a guidance to her, They are going on the online platforms. We're doing Q devices on the online platform also. These are the two channels which we are using right now for the distribution actually. We have started a hospital distribution channel, but Q devices as a product, we are not entered into that thing.
Okay.
The hospital distribution channel is purely based for a normal distribution curve of, the established brands at this moment. We have not put in Q devices into that segment yet. So Q devices is only going through the B2B and the online channels.
You roughly spoke about the COVID era, right? And when we were into the COVID era and post-COVID era, we've seen a huge demand, especially for healthcare and diagnostics. Have you seen a sizable jump and that jump sustaining, the growth sort of being sustained, or have you seen some sort of a shift in the way of people's behavior?
We've been doing a lot of point of care products, health diagnostic products in our system right now. In the product category itself also, it almost contributes almost around 25% of our business actually in that thing, in the product category, health diagnostics. We have been tying up with a lot of, AI-based companies right now. And the latest was being the Smart QR actually, where direct hemoglobin test and the vitamin D test, the first time in this country is happening without any instrument. It's based on some photosynthetic efforts. You click the photo on the camera and you get the readings actually done. It's the first time it's happened right now, A lot of AI products are coming in right now, and diagnostics is, yes, post-corona time, a lot of, rapid tests have been developed, type things. And see, we took it as, from a point of view in our CAMS business also, what happens most importantly is like, the patient, as I said, normally doesn't come back so easily. So here, when you're doing a test actually for the patient and you tell him that you come back and collect the report next day, 60 to 80% of the patients don't come back. With these rapid tests, what happens? Yes, the doctor is able to treat them immediately. So that's what it works. So yes, what you're saying is right. Rapid test is growing. The diagnostic field is growing, and it's an important arena for us also.
Apart from the fact that you had an acquisition of Saarathi Healthcare, I believe also you had Prometheus Healthcare as well. If you could help us understand more about
Prometheus was a part of Saarathi, so it came along with us.
Okay, so the synergies are very much aligned. Same synergies coming in for your company. And also talking about the hospital business, that's relatively new. That's what you've entered into, right? So how is it different? How is it helping your vision?
See, hospital, is now the idea is to develop an all-India network actually of distribution channel right now. So we have companies like, big, we are dealers for bigger companies like SMT, 3M, Hine, all these are big. Anyway, we are their dealers for the promo business, for the B2B business. So it was but natural extension for us to take that. And with the online platform also that we are developing. So we have opening up our offices in multiple places like Bangalore, Chennai, and not offices in the sense we will have our warehouses and a drug license already in place for that, where Indore is there, Ahmedabad is there, 9 different states that Chennai is there, 9 different places which we are opening up our office at this moment. So it helps us to complete the distribution loop because it's just an extension for us. We're already into this business model through the B2B channel. Now we are going through this model to the hospital channel. Though this is the traditional model, what we were doing was much different niche type of an extension because the products used to go through the doctors actually directly. Here, it's there. It's a traditional channel which is there. So we're just completing the loop at this moment.
Right. What's your M&A strategy then? Given the fact, are you looking at some more M&A?
No, not at this moment. Honestly speaking, I have one to complete with Saarathi at this moment, and then. Yes, a lot of things are there in pipeline, but as and when it unfolds, we'll let you know. First phase is to complete Saarathi, get it merged with QMS merged in the sense let the synergy of working together happen for one and a half year at least, and then start. But I always believe in one thing: learn to crawl, walk, then run. Simple.
Yeah, and then talking about run, what sort of a run rate have you thought about for the company going ahead, given the fact that you are on a healthy footing when you talk about your balance sheet at this point in time?
The balance sheet is, yes, good. No doubt about it. In the 3 years' time, we are looking at almost doubling our turnovers right now.
Okay.
That's the numbers that we are looking at actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's there. We're looking at a good EBITDA, good health, profitability, because the patient service and the CAMS model are a little bit different type of profit margins games actually.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking at scaling up that in a much, much larger way. The product business is a traditional business which keeps on growing around 10 to 15%. But a larger growth area is obviously going to come from the patient service and the CAMS model. That's the larger area growth.
All right.
So in 3 years, the vision is doubling up the turnovers right now at this moment.
All
That's
right.
been first step vision actually.
Mm-hmm. So doubling the turnover in 3 years. But, one cannot dispute about the fact that how the competition also is increasing, right? Are you facing that? And what sets you apart from the competition?
See, the segment that we are into, actually, we've been here in this for 31 years.
Right.
Okay. Second, if I look at everything, there are entry barriers in every field actually.
Mm-hmm.
Though entry barriers, the people who come with deep pockets can only survive in this industry, otherwise they cannot. And it's obviously the pricing strategy is the big thing which has been there from everybody. The easiest thing for any competition is to come and to enter the market, lower the price and do that. But then over a period of time, we have seen 31 years, people have come and gone. We've been here, we've been there steady. So lowering the pricing has never been a worry actually for us actually. And we have been selling all high branded value products only. Service is what keeps us going. That is an area which we always focus on. Service. That you need to give the service to your clients.
So that would be your big
That's the big motto.
Right.
Quality products, quality service, that's more important. That is it.
Right. Have you ever come across the China competition? Have you faced and do you feel that sort of a heat?
See, you cannot deny that everybody in this country imports from China, whether in the knockdown condition, CKD condition, or a direct import of that. See, only thing is with the government regulations now being little bit more stricter actually with the CDSO coming in. So at least for sure that at least some quality products only are being allowed to import.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any, inferior quality products being imported at least from there. And yes, India manufacturing scale is there. We are also trying to take in from a lot of as I told you, the IIT Batik guys, we've been talking. There are 2-3 other guys who we have helped these people to sell their products into that. But you cannot deny that fact that yes, China is there.
Right.
Always will be, and now will be always there.
That's true. But you did speak about your products. They go through quality tests, right? So if you could help us understand what sort of quality tests do your products undergo? What sort of regulatory hurdles that you've actually spoken about? What all should one keep in mind while analyzing this sort of an industry as a whole?
See, from the quality product point of view, I think so that entire team should you take an interview of the entire team to do that, because see, I will only ask the team to give me a complete product to sell. Yes, the license formalities, the CDSOs, if it's an CE required or an FDA required, and all those things which are there, that the team takes care of that. I personally, honestly, would not be the right person to answer this.
Right. If you could help us understand now, you did say about the next 3 years, your aim is to double, right? What about the little bit longer term view, about 5 to 7 years? Where do you see, how do you see yourself expanding? Are you also looking at global expansion? We
are definitely looking up at global expansions because a lot of patient service programs and a lot of the CAMS model is internationally being done already.
Right.
So we will definitely start looking into that space. But probably in another year's time, once we are set up ready with this complete setup right now. So, that we are going to do that. I will not deny that. I have kept an eye on that, but the Indian market itself is so big at this moment right now. And to tell you honestly, it's untapped.
Yes.
It's absolutely untapped.
As a consumer myself, I think I would also believe that very truly that it is pretty untimed. Like the way you said also that patients don't come back after their initial diagnosis. So that's also one of the
That's the biggest. 60% of the patients dropped out, and it's a data. It's not what I am talking about. It's a data. 60% of the patients in the chronic therapy drop out after the first month of medicine. They do not come back. And chronic therapy, if you talk about, it's almost more than 50,000-60,000 crores business in India. So technically speaking, if 60% of the patients also drop out, that means it's a huge loss of business.
Right. So people who are watching us, you did speak about how QMS came into being, your product lines, the way how your acquisition is helping you reach out untapped market. But what is this one thing that you would want the investors to actually know about QMS? And there's something that they all should ideally focus on while you are actually gauging the company and it's actually a predominance in this medical equipment industry.
It's a company with the heart and soul, actually. It's built with that. It's a company with heart and soul, honestly speaking. We have employees who are there with us for a longer time, we believe, as I told you, 31 years in the industry, we believe in service, we believe in good quality to people, we maintain relationships. We don't fudge our data. So that's something I can very clearly tell you. Even when we are down in the numbers, we are the first people to out and say that, yes, this is there. Even right now also, I'm being on the SME platform, though we are supposed to give our results once in 6 months, but we've been giving our results once every quarter. That's the type of transparency we would like to keep and continue. And just, have faith in us. We are here for a longer run, it's not for a short run. That's all.
Yes. And who in your management team, just to understand, given the fact that you've been in this industry for the last 30 years and in excess of about 30 years, and you're here for the long haul as well. So your management team, who would you say will now take the legacy forward, the vision forward?
Oh, there's a long time to give that right now, but there is a full set of team of people who are being groomed at this moment right now in each team segment, actually. In the hospital chain, in the patient service program, in the camps model. It's the youngsters who are driving the business right now out here at this moment. So it's
because innovation is key, isn't it?
Yeah, innovation is key. Idea is to keep the company as professional as what it is right now. So there are people being groomed for that. I don't want to pinpoint anybody at this moment right now, but there are a set of people being groomed for that.
All right. Keeping in mind your vision to grow and to double in the next 3 years, and as well as, given the fact that you're here for the long haul, Mr. Makhija, I wish you and the entire team at QMS Medical Allied Services the very best. And thank you so much for joining us on the special edition of SmallCap Spotlight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.